Right now, please welcome back to the show, AMAC Action Senior Vice President, our friend Andy Mangione. Andy, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Doing great, Tim, and good to see you guys.
Good to see you as well. AMAC Action recently supported a bill that would lower health care costs, and the president, he's teasing a big announcement. And Politico is reporting tonight that it could be something having to do with prescription drug costs. You guys supported a bill that would lower health care costs for patients and taxpayers. It's called the Same Care, Lower Costs Act, and it was just introduced by Tuesday by Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, one of our favorites. Why do we need legislation like the Same Care, Lower Costs Act? Tell me a little bit about it. Give me a little background.
Well, the bill concerns Medicare and payment structures, and Medicare has some wacky payment structures. Like its current billing structure has reimbursed hospital outpatient departments at significantly higher rates than a physician office or an ambulatory surgical center, even when the identical service can be delivered in these non-hospital settings. And what the bill wants to do is make these inefficient payment disparities more efficient because they cost taxpayers and patients billions of dollars.
So what does the bill do to address those concerns that you just laid out?
The bill would fix the part of this billing structure that allows hospital systems to charge patients for outpatient care at more expensive hospital rates. It creates greater transparency by allowing the Secretary of Health and Human Services to make more Medicare billing codes eligible for site-neutral payment reform. And David, what this reform means is that more payment classifications in the Medicare program can be reimbursed at the same rate regardless of the site of service. And I wanted to point out that this legislation will exempt emergency and trauma-related services. So these provisions would not include that to ensure that urgent care would continue to receive full support, I should say.
So, you know, when you listen to the left, all they talk about, and they make it seem like President Trump and the Republicans, of course, want to kill Medicare, kill Medicaid, push Granny off a cliff, all of that stuff. So how would the proposed law affect? Now, again, President Trump just teased a big announcement, and Politico is speculating that it could be about drug prices. And the president's teasing it as the biggest announcement ever dealing with this subject matter. So it makes sense that it could be that. But how does this proposed law affect the Medicare program and the Medicare beneficiaries even more than what you've already laid out?
Well, for starters, the Congressional Budget Office is estimating that expanding site-neutral payments would save Medicare over $156 billion over the next decade. And for seniors, which obviously hold a near and dear place in the heart of AMAC, these reforms are expected to deliver $51 billion in premium reductions, $43 billion in cost-sharing relief, that's out-of-pocket expenses, and an additional $43 billion in Medigap savings. That's totaling $137 billion in direct savings to beneficiaries. You could see why we're very interested in this bill.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you can go to amac.us/Studio6B, amac.us/Studio6B if you want to join AMAC for just $16 a year right now. And of course, it gets you the AMAC magazine, access to real money saving discounts as well. amac.us/Studio6B. Andy, always a pleasure to have you on for a few minutes. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Damon. My pleasure.
All right, Andy Mangione right there, AMAC Action Senior Vice President, talking about this Same Care, Lower Cost Act bill that they've gotten behind. They're doing great work on things like this that matter to you, right? And this is why when we talk about AMAC and joining AMAC, it's a company that represents your values, company that represents the things that are affecting your life, country that, things that are affecting your things you're making decisions on, things that you want to see done. Not just funding this crazy leftist stuff that the other guys are doing there. So amac.us/Studio6B, check them out. And if you haven't joined, then I know many of you in this audience have. We get great response from the Studio 6B audience. So if you haven't yet, check them out, amac.us/Studio6B.